We got a few things going on in South Dakota. We're doing some process improvements within our applications development group, working on some agile methodologies there, some process improvements in regards to project management, documentation, system architecture and design. A lot of efforts going on there. We have a security work group that we've formed within the senior levels of the executive branch, trying to educate and inform folks at the higher levels in regards to some of the risks there with cybersecurity, so making sure we can get buy-in from the top levels all the way down. From a technology perspective, probably Windows 10, is something that's high on our radar too. That's quite an improvement in the desktop arena, so looking to take advantages of some of the new capabilities within that. Beyond the Windows platform, security continues to improve. Tools, there's a lot of point products in that are exciting. Trying to integrate those across the enterprise becomes challenging. Software as a service, we just came out of a session talking about the cloud and the offerings with them. That's probably a couple of the significant items that we're looking at. We have a highly centralized IT organization in South Dakota, meaning we provide IT services to judicial branch of government, all of the executive branch of government. We also provide significant services to K-12, higher education, and the constitutional offices. So the collaboration piece we really work with on a regular basis. I mean, just last week, between conversations with the Attorney General's office on a project, a Department of Corrections on a project, a judicial system on a project, collaboration is pretty much a key point in what we do on a daily basis. Probably the biggest thing is integrating new technology with legacy systems. We have an invested base, whether that's in applications that may be 30 years old or hardware and software that's beyond the supported level. Then you're trying to take new stuff, which is cool and exciting, but how's it going to work in what we already have in place? So that probably is the initial item. Beyond that, funding. Funding is always a challenge. Not necessarily a negative, because that forces efficiencies on us, which it's good to eliminate the redundancies and duplication of services. But probably those two things at the top of the list. Again, from a centralized perspective, we try and take an enterprise look at things from the desktop to the network to applications development to hosting to servers. All of the different aspects of the technology life cycle and how we can manage those across the state. There's a lot of individual products and services that do well, but when clients call us with a problem and say, hey, our application is slow, how can we look at all of those components through a single pane of glass? I think that there's improvements coming in that area. The industry isn't quite there, but hopefully in the coming years those things will be available for us. In some ways, the millennials have gotten a bad name in that I think it's a pseudo-artifact in regards to that generation. More man-made than actual natural, my opinion there. I think whether you're young, middle-aged, or old, I mean, our jobs as IT leaders, we have to recruit good people, okay? We have to set expectations for them. We need to provide training for those individuals. We need to assess them, and we need to provide coaching and feedback to them. We need to hold them accountable, for how they're performing, whether you're young, middle-aged, or been in the workforce for a long time. So part of that just comes back to management and making sure that you're actively managing individuals and setting expectations and holding them accountable to that. In addition to that, you need to listen and understand your employees. There's not necessarily rocket science to that aspect of it. Finally, I think that specific to millennials is pushing them, or them pushing us, to take advantage of the new technologies that are available. Sometimes we as employers aren't great to respond to what's available to us as tools, so using just things such as mobility, wireless, telework, work from home, being flexible in our work schedules. Those types of things we should have been doing a long time ago, but I think the impetus is upon us with a new generation, so to speak, that we take advantage of those things that are available. I think initially, again, from our perspective in our rural state, centralization, eliminating duplication of services goes a long ways. Citizens expect us to take their dollar and spend it as far as possible. Sometimes that means removing politics from the picture, removing personal preferences, establishing standards. Establishing standards goes a long ways towards building our staff's expertise to be somewhat narrow, yet it's very deep in being able to solve problems that may come in at the help desk on a daily basis. That leads to being able to generate economies of scale, bulk buying power. In our situation, in the networking world, for example, we provide networking services, executive branch of government, constitutional offices. We include K-12, we include higher education. We take all of those and bundle those into single procurements. We get competitive pricing for our state. States need to be open to those types of situation projects, and sometimes that means we have to put egos aside and political differences in order to do what's best for the citizens in the end, in order to use their dollars accordingly.